I'm gonna take you with me herb picking for tea today because I've been making this fantastic tea. Here is my phenomenal geranium plant. It's my #1 herb lately. It's so thriving and it makes the bees so happy. I have propagated it everywhere and it sets roots really strongly, immediately sets roots. So I think I'm gonna maybe make a flower essence from it for setting roots. Here it is, and I'm gonna start picking. I picked some calendula and some sage. My sage is still small and I cleared some geraniums from here so it has some room to expand. And here is my lemon balm. And yarrow. There's the yarrow. There's the yarrow. I'll take one. And some other sage, purple sage. And that's the lemon balm. I just cleared space here. This was all geranium so that I can fill it in with other stuff. Okay, of course the mint couldn't fight with the geranium, but it is coming from the bottom. It didn't like the top, which shows you something major about geraniums. It's just such a winner. And this is malva. I have started using it. I have a better patch. It's a wild plant. This is sorrel, also a beneficial plant. So I leave some of them. Okay, so this is my strawberry patch, but this year I kind of let the wood sorrel overtake it a little bit. So maybe I'll take down the wood sorrel, which is a gilt plant, so I think it's overall okay. Here it's a nice ground cover. Here is my strawberries. They used to cover more, but it's still a lot of strawberries and they produce really sweet strawberries. Here it is. And I also have alpine strawberries, which are tiny but also delicious. They're more of a delicacy. They're very small. And now let me show you a gilt I've created. This is a plum tree I'm under. There is a bean here, some peas out there, and that is a big comfrey plant I planted last year and from a root, and it's big. I mean, those plants are big. It's completely covered in flower. I see this is a little bit on the whiter side, the flower, more lavenderish. This, by the way, it's a milk thistle and we don't take them down because we're gonna harvest the thistle. The rest we have to take down, but we have a lot of land, so we've been clearing actively. Journey has been clearing. That's another comfrey. Now here I have an asparagus. That's an asparagus. A culinary sage. I won't say this is a culinary sage. I can identify it on my app, but I planted it. And it's doing really well. It's flowering like crazy and I'm here for the flowers. And this is a comfrey. Here is a little kitty. He's inspecting my herbs. Leo, aren't you the cutest? Yes, you are. Leo. Leo, baby. Aren't you the cutest? You're so cute. Leo, you're so cute. You're such a friend. You're such a friend. All right, so we're under the plum tree. Let me zoom out. We're here under the plum tree. The plums developing. And this is another comfrey, which makes me really proud. I'm a proud mother of a lot of plants. This is a Tagasastem. Slightly a failed experiment because I started about 30 of them and only one survived because I was gone in summer and they were in pots. I didn't pot them. But it is something with a very deep root. Comfrey as well. They both are said to have up to 10 feet deep roots. So even more. This is in the lucerne family. It's used in permaculture. In even certain goat farms use it because it's for feeding animals, but it also stabilizes the soil. It's nitrogen fixing. So the fact that one is thriving, I am very encouraged. I will probably have it everywhere, the way I'm planning to have comfrey everywhere. So this is a big orange tree, and here is a guild. Comfrey heals humans and heals trees. It brings nutrients up from deep. It attracts bunnies for sure. But I will take one leaf. Now, it used to be an all-American tea that was very powerful. Nowadays it's used externally mostly, and externally is extremely powerful. It can heal a broken limb. Now it does the same with trees. If a tree is suffering and you plant it under, it just decomposes down as a manure. I should say manure, plant-based manure. And this is all decomposed comfrey, and it breaks down and it feeds the plant. It's almost like manure, the same amount of nutrients. It's real nutritive. It's called bone knit. I cannot speak highly enough of comfrey. Once you plant it somewhere, it's gonna stay there because the root is so strong. It can regenerate from any part of the root. So that is part of its quality. It will regrow itself from just the smallest cutting from a root. So that's why it regrows bones. Now I should be making domas, but I will add a grape leaf into my tea. And this grape has so many grape vines, about 50 on just this one plant. This is one that we had by our house. Otherwise we had a whole vineyard that we took down because it had it got a root disease, root mold or something. It was a wet year, and I think that contributed. Now across you see a grapefruit tree and a persimmon tree. That's another comfrey. It's not as strong as the comfreys I showed you, but I think it will take hold this year. Here in my climate, they like a little bit of shade, but for every climate you can pretty much get comfrey, and I really recommend highly if you have the space. Here is a blackberry plant covered. I over pruned it, to be honest, and the way they promise, if you are aggressive with pruning, you get a lot of blackberries. It's just one plant, but it is indeed covered. It is covered. I kind of pruned it a little more than I typically would, as you're supposed to. All right, this, I think it's scarlet something, I forget again. It has the red berries and the white flowers, and it's buzzing. Let me get the sound there if I can, because bee sound is maybe the best sound you can expose yourself to. Let's see. So what do you think about these flowers? I think she thinks they're top-notch flowers. They're so cute. Anyways, let's continue because I'm gonna overdo today the herbs. There is the other kitty. Cats are important garden friends. Kitty.
Mama, answer the call.
Hello.
Hi, Mommy.
Hello. Cuppy.
What are you up to?
Oh.
What you doing?
It's just.
Lotus and I are here. Do you want to say hi to Lotus?
Let me see your flip phone. Lotus made a flip phone.
These are flip phone.
Flip phone. Not a flip phone. All right, let's go get some bamboo and water some plants. I'm creating guilt. So this is a lime tree that wasn't doing as well when we moved in, and I have put fava beans underneath. This is Mexican sunflower. I ordered it from Florida, and it came as cutting. A lot of the things I order come as cuttings or root. There is a comfrey again that attracts a little bunny every single at dusk evening. So that is a guild that's healing the lime tree. The lime tree now is producing a big amount of limes. Last year it was a lot, and I think it's just, you can tell that it's much happier. There's still certain leaf issue, leaves missing. We think it's some sort of an insect, but anyways, so Mexican sunflower, comfrey, lavender, another asparagus. I think I'm gonna have to dig up the asparagus and put them all together. Lots of lemongrass. I do have a lot of lemongrass. Aloe, lemongrass. That's a bunch of onions here, and some weeds that I have so much for weeding. It's crazy. And society garlic. So there is another lemongrass here. Speaking of which, I'm gonna pick lemongrass for the tea. And that is a bay leaf that I almost killed in our greenhouse, almost, because it's sprouting so well here. This is it. It's sprouting so well. You see how it went brown in the greenhouse, but this is gonna be hopefully a nice bay leaf plant. And Johnny is waiting for me to finish filming my tea making because we're planting, and that's part of the plants that are going down in the vineyard. Goji berries, pumpkins that are not happy, so they gotta go in the ground even though they're pretty small. And this was dragon fruit, but the tomato self-seeded, so it's gonna go in there. And lavender. That's a fava bean. It's so delicious. I have them everywhere, so they're great. The lavender is epic. Okay, so lavender is just epic. I have a lot of plants there. There is a baby lilac, elderberry, lots of new lavender, and a rosemary. So I'm starting a bunch of new plants there too. I have to show you my Jerusalem sage. I really wanted it. I really wanted the Jerusalem sage. So I picked up one rescue plant, not in good shape, last year in Lowe's or Home Depot Lowe's from the sales rack. Sometimes I check it because, as you can tell, we have so much land that if I can find a little cheaper plants, it will be slightly, and I propagate. But this is our carpet right now. It's so beautiful. It's a light pink ice plant. I have orange and a dark pink, but they're at a different schedule. Again, bees galore. They love it, and I love flowers. I almost love flowers more than fruit, which tells you a lot. They give me joy. That is the sage. I do think it's, I've not consumed it yet, but I do think it's for tea. It's beautiful. Let's pick one. I'll finish with the, this is unreal. It smells like maple. Do you smell it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is a color tree from the Color Tree Project. It was sent to me as a cutting by Johnny's cousin. You can cook it, it's a color green, but it grows into a tree and it's perennial, and we have it here. It's almost decorative. We do need to prop it if we keep it here, but we can also propagate it and have fresh greens. I put them in my tea because my tea is salty, and it does, look how pretty this is. And it does make for a real pretty plant.
What about those flowers?
I already,
those.
oh, those are different from, oh, those are the seed pots from the collard. So we have a lot of seeds from this collard plant. I'll harvest them. And this, of course, is geranium, started from a little plant. Let's go get some bamboo. Around the blueberries and bamboo leaves. That is, those are the shoes, Johnny.
Here.
Okay. Oops. All right. Those are the bamboo shoots and the leaves. It's silica, so it's great, and the mint. Well, some mint here. I'll get a fig leaf now to round this off. Let me see. Grab the scissors. All right. And those are little blueberries. Let's go get some cherry leaves and malva, and that's it. Alright, so some cherry leaves. I'm just gonna get these little shoots that the cherry tree sends. And cherry leaf, that's the cherry, one of the cherries. And we'll get a malva plant and a mulberry. So, one of my yogis, Christina, she sent me a reel about this plant. It's malva, and it's a mallow. So these pots make marshmallow. But anyways, it is really good for coughs and such.
Did you plant this?
I didn't plant it. This is completely wild, but this is our best one. Otherwise, down in the winery, they're really small and dry. I don't know, it has the perfect conditions here, but it's mucilage, you just whatever. It's so I'm editing the video, and since I never got to say it here, is drying my linens. It's the way I remembered it later is Metamucil mucilaginous, something like that. I still haven't looked it up, but you know, it's a herbal quality. It's kind of that slippery quality that marshmallow, slippery elm, all of those herbs have, and it's good for the lungs and so forth. But apparently you can make amazing marshmallow with it, marshmallow candy with sugar, and this kind of the boiled down flower buds of this plant, of this malva plant. And it is used, I once I used to buy it in ethnic stores in the frozen section, imported from Egypt. It was called something else, it's not coming to me right now, but it is kind of like Egyptian spinach, I think it was the name, or something like that. But anyways, it's a beautiful plant. Wild. It's very soothing for the throat, mouth, and lining. Let's continue down. Right, I promise that I'm gonna show you tea making, but it's becoming a little, there's so much going on in nature in spring. This tree, it grows huge. Our gardener was chopping it always to the ground, so that is how much it's grown in one season. Otherwise it grows into a big tree. This is wild tobacco, it's not native to California. I think it was brought here from South America, and I forget which exact area, but
I thought it was Aztec tobacco, no?
no, Aztec tobacco, I have seeds for it. This is a tobacco tree. This is its proper name, tobacco tree. 10 times the nicotine content of regular garden tobacco. So it's said in the tincture it's really good for pain. I've yet to try it because we have other things, but I think it's probably worth trying it. Apparently it's 10 times stronger than arnica cream for pain. And we have so much of it growing really vigorously, and I like to observe how trees behave. And it's such a strong plant that it obviously works with us to give us strength and fast growth. Now, all right, one more unrelated to tea. I said I'm gonna show you tea, but these are some of my dragon fruit startlings, but also I should check on this. Yeah, they're ready for being watered. These are my more seedlings.
Where did you get that blanket technique from?
From my grandma. She apparently used manure to create a warm tropical environment, and she would put her seedlings, so a layer of manure, that's what my mom tells me, a layer of manure, a layer of soil, clean soil, then she would direct seed, blanket on top, and the manure creates heat, and she would start seedlings in winter, snowing, no matter what, they kind of have tropical environment, and then they're warm and really strong seedlings. Once the roots reach the manure, obviously they are out of this world. And she had clean grass-fed sheep manure. Come with me to the rain barrel, Johnny. So I'm using rainwater for certain garden needs. This is mostly herbs and flowers, yarrow, and I don't remember what I planted anymore. I've planted 300 things. Look at the quality of this leaf. This is mulberry, and silk, of course, is created from the silk worms. They're a beneficial insect, by the way, silkworms. Oh, and there is mulberries actually. We lost a lot of them to the birds this year. The birds went crazy for them. Mulberries are almost one of the plants we can't keep going here. Because
the buds.
and the birds love the fruit. this tree was not doing so well. I mulched it.
But
And
it was totally munched down too by
munched
goats.
down. Maybe other things, maybe insects too.
It looked like it was dead.
Yeah, it looks like it's back, but I feel like it still needs a little strengthening. I think I would, if I bring it a mulberry, a comfrey plant, it will be great. And here are our little new trees. They're really covered in flowers. This is a mandarin. We only have 2 mandarins, but it has quite a few flowers for a small tree. And that's
the Sophie tree.
That's Sophie's ashes are here, and that's a pomelo, pink Valentine pomelo, I think. All right, I want to show you, Johnny, and you. Is this tree? It's so. I don't know if you can get to
Put
see
your
the
hand in this,
size.
you see the-
If you can get to see the size down there, it's so big, and it's almost like in the vein of how olive trees grow so old and nice. This has to be an old jade tree.
Probably from the 80s.
Yeah, so don't make it 40 years old if it's from the 80s.
Yeah.
But that's when, this whole area was being built. So yeah, it's epic. So thank you all for watching me pick Johnny almost tripped on the herbs, watching me pick herbs. I'm gonna now boil them and drink the tea, and I will start the geranium face wash because something tells me it's going to be top notch. Here is the aloe I use, and right now it's in flower, and it's a beautiful flower there. It's a gorgeous aloe flower.